So before we begin looking at values, I would like you to take a look at what you don't want in a job. Go ahead and use the worksheet on page 24 of your workbook to brainstorm what you do not want in a job. If you don't have a printed workbook, feel free to just grab a blank piece of paper and write down as many ideas as you can think of. Aim for about 7 to 10 things you don't want in a job. It's going to be unique to you. For example, some people don't want to be in an office all day. Other people don't want to work outside. So what you write on this list will be very specific to you. Go ahead and pause this video so you have plenty of time to come up with 7 to 10 ideas. So, what did you learn from that activity? Go ahead and look at all the ideas you came up with, and I want you to circle the 3 things you most want to avoid when choosing a career. Go ahead and pause this so you have plenty of time to answer this question and circle your top 3 things you do not want in a career. Then I'm going to give you an opportunity to share those 3 things with me. So today, you probably can tell we are talking about values. Now, let's look. When we think about values at work, consider the fact that you will likely spend 1 in 4 hours of your life at work, 1/4 of your life. You're going to get paid to work, but what if you could get more? What if you could be satisfied by your key values? What if you could have work that is meaningful for you? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I think everyone wants the kind of job where they can say, wow, I can't believe I get paid to do this. So as you try to figure out what your key values are, one way you can kind of get an idea is by looking at what you spend your time and money on. Values are often reflected in what you actually do with your time and your life. Now, some people, when they go and get a job, that is how they figure out what they do and don't want. Sometimes they discover the job they have doesn't really satisfy their values and interests. You're going to bring your whole self to the job. So you want to make sure you know what you care about. And so that means developing your own personal values. By the age of 10, most pre-adolescents have unconsciously adapted all the values of their parents, teachers, and friends. But as they become teenagers, usually they begin to sort out which of these adopted values they want to choose freely as their own. Some people consider this the rebellious stage. But the truth is, making your own choices about what you value fosters self-esteem and self-confidence, and it's a really good thing. But it can be a little stressful when you realize the things you value may not match what your parents value, or your teachers, or your friends. Sometimes it will stay the same. Sometimes you'll have agreement with your family or your friends on some similar core values. But it's okay for you to branch out and figure out what you care about in your life. Go ahead and turn to page 25 in your workbook. If you don't have your workbook printed out, I recommend just drawing a pyramid like this one and take a few minutes to fill in the blanks. Go ahead and copy down this information so that you will have it. Feel free to pause the video while you copy this down. So let's take a look at this pyramid. Abraham Maslow came up with this hierarchy of needs. Basically, what he said is that you need some foundational needs met before you can get to higher level needs. So let's look at the lower order needs first. So these are external needs. First, we have physiological needs. That includes things like food, water, air, shelter, clothing, sleep. These are things you need to stay alive and survive. The next level up are needs of safety and security. That includes things like health, empowerment, property, having a place to live, family, social stability. All of those are very important, but these are external needs. These are things you need outside of yourself to be safe and healthy. As we move to the top of the pyramid, you're going to notice the higher order or internal needs. The next level up is belonging. Friendship, family, intimacy, a sense of connection. Feeling like there's a place where you belong. This is an internal need. This is not a life or death need, but it's very important. It's very important to have a community where you feel like you belong. Next up is self-esteem. This is how you feel about yourself. Confidence, achievement, having the respect of others, being able to express who you are as an individual. All of this is part of self-esteem. And then at the very top is self-actualization. This is where you get those high order needs. Morality, creativity, purpose, meaning, spontaneity, acceptance. This is where you're going to do your highest level work. Now, why is it built like this pyramid? It's because you need your basic needs met before you can get to those higher level things. For example, if you don't have food or water or shelter, you're not going to be thinking about, oh, how can I have more creativity in my life? You are probably in crisis mode, like, I need a place to live, I need food to eat. It's only after your physiological needs are met, your safety and security are met, your belonging, self-esteem, that you're able to get to that self-actualization level. So a lot of us use this pyramid, this hierarchy of needs, to kind of analyze where we are in life and how we can move towards that top of the pyramid. Now, Herzberg is another researcher who came up with the theory of motivation. What he found is that people have external and internal motivators, and this can rely to work. So, for example, an external motivator might be how much money you make. It might be what the working conditions are like. Are you inside or are you outside? Company policies, possible for advancement. Internal motivators might be the amount of responsibility you have, the type of work that you get to do. So let's look at how Herzberg's theory of motivation overlaps with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So when we look at the physiological needs in general for your life, we can also look at the motivators, the work motivators that go with that. And so that's salary, benefits, job security. This is the basic thing. Some people will say, like, let's say it's the middle of a recession. Okay, probably not too hard to imagine that right now. And you just need to survive. You'll take any job that has salary and benefits and that you know you can get a paycheck, right? You're not going to be so picky if you're trying to meet your physiological needs. Next level of motivator with safety and security, that's more like work environment and company policies. You want to make sure that you're safe, that you're not going to be harassed or you're not going to be injured. That is related to safety and security. When we move up the pyramid from belonging, there comes a chance where you have relationships. There are people I know who, they're earning enough money, they like the work environment, but the reason they love their job is because they have really good relationships with their coworkers, and that makes it awesome for them. Alternatively, I know people who love the work they're doing, but they don't get along well with their boss, or they don't get along well with their coworkers, and that can really affect job satisfaction. Moving up to self-esteem, some career-related motivators are the chance for advancement, seeing yourself move up to being maybe a supervisor or in charge of more projects, having more self-control or autonomy about the work you do. People talk a lot about micromanaging and how often people don't enjoy being micromanaged. You can see with self-esteem the chance for that autonomy and self-control. It can make you really feel good about yourself at work. So that can be a motivator. And then at the very top, self-actualization. This is where you want to develop skills and knowledge. It's like lifelong learning. You're excited to learn about it. Challenging, meaningful work, the chance to achieve. These are all major motivators. And it's interesting, I've noticed over life, people will start off with that survival job, and as time goes on, they long more and more to move up this pyramid until they've got a job that, yes, meets their basic needs, physiological needs, but also gives them meaningful work, good relationships, and a chance to direct their own work. So this is important to think about as you look at what you value and what you need and what is going to motivate you on the job. So needs and motivators. There's different things that we need and that motivate us. So one is that inner drive to influence how you choose a career. You can see I've got my bread and water. These are your needs. You must eat. A cupcake, that might be more of a motivator. It's food. I mean, I love cupcakes, so it would motivate me. Having that salary, that can be motivating for you. But beyond just these bare necessities, things like being able to help other people might motivate you. Being able to work on your own might motivate you. Having a chance to do work that contributes positively to the world might motivate you. Having the chance to be a leader and in charge of other people and projects and have influence, that might motivate you. So all of this is important as you consider what job you want. And of course, these are happy people. The more your values overlap with the career you choose, the happier you are going to be at work. So it is really important, if you can, to move your way up that pyramid so that that inner drive and needs that you have that are internal to you, you can overlap with careers that will meet those needs. And remember, if you're having trouble meeting those basic level needs, physiological and safety needs, it's pretty hard to meet the needs at the top of the pyramid. So you may have to work your way up. So, what did you learn? Think about what you learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, what you learned about Herzberg's theory of motivation, and how values are important when it comes to choosing a career.